Hey, Dr. Don here, and I want to talk to you about another question that I get pretty regularly when people find out that I'm a trauma therapist and now author of the book coming out, The Trauma Treatment Companion. So, a question that I get again in the therapy office or in a social setting, out to dinner with friends and acquaintances or something like that, and people, here I'm a trauma therapist, and they go, have I had trauma? Or do I have trauma is another way it comes across. So, of course, I'm not going to really answer that question definitively for them. That's kind of definitely not my role when we're out for dinner. And it's not a simple, straightforward question, yes, no. But here's a useful way of sort of starting to think through the question in a little bit more of a, kind of a robust and serious way. The way to make sense of it, the way to understand it, I'm going to actually tell you a story about I have a little Bichon Frise dog, Sophie. So if you're not familiar with that breed, it's kind of like a poodle, but in my opinion, a whole lot cuter. Okay? So my little dog, Sophie, she has a narrow window of temperature that she likes. When I'm in Canada in winter, it gets to, like, I'm not exaggerating, minus 25 Celsius, minus 35 Celsius, and she does not like to go outside when it's that cold. She'll kind of jump up on my leg and basically say, "This is stupid, let's go inside." So she doesn't like it when it's too cold, and she also doesn't like it when it's too hot. So the weather can go up to plus 25, plus 30 Celsius, really, really hot. And some days it's really humid. So she doesn't like that weather either. And so she kind of just sort of sits down and doesn't walk. So she doesn't like it too cold, she doesn't like it too hot, she likes it in the middle. So that's a kind of a metaphor for a trauma treatment kind of paradigm or framework called the window of tolerance, except we're not talking about temperature outside that dogs might not like. We're talking about nervous system activation. So here's the punchline of my dog story. If your level of nervous system activation kind of regularly goes too high, what we actually in normal conversation called freaking out or losing it or panic or just really, really amped up with anxiety, that sort of thing, we're out of the window of tolerance. We've gone outside the band of healthy, normal emotion and, again, nervous system activation. That's a sign that there's unhealed trauma going on inside you. And likewise, if we're too low, so if we're, again, not just sort of once in a blue moon, but if we're experiencing down, lethargic, depressive, numbed out, zombie state, watching reruns of that stupid TV show from a decade ago, then we're too low in that window of tolerance. So if we spend time, like not just once a year, but if we spend too much time too much up in our nervous system activation, or if we spend too much time down in our nervous system activation, then probably those are survival responses that are automatically being activated in your autonomic nervous system. And that's happening because you have unresolved, unhealed trauma. And so if that's happening for you, then the answer to the question is, yeah, you have unhealed trauma. Great thing to know is trauma treatment is really, really effective at putting those things to rest. And my new book, The Trauma Treatment Companion, is loaded with tools and strategies to get those activations under control, which is it's not the whole story, but is part of trauma treatment. And The book, The Trauma Treatment Companion, is available on Amazon. All right, so that's an answer to the question. It took 5 minutes to answer the question, but hopefully it's helpful. Leave a comment below and subscribe to my channel, and you'll hear short answers to other questions that are probably on your mind that you've always wanted to ask a therapist, or especially a trauma therapist. Hey, thanks for listening.